Hi everybody, this is Alice, Bejeweled Hedgehog. I have both a mini haul and a vlog. So actually let's start with the good stuff, which is the mini haul. I went to Michael's this afternoon, well actually more like this evening, to reward myself because I did some cooking today. I did a lot of cooking today. Yeah, so of course it was a retail reward. But anyway, there's a dollar store that actually has things that cost more than $1, but it's it's still called a dollar store right next to it. And I got two things there. I'll just show you really quickly. I got these shoes. Yes, I know I wear plastic and rubber shoes, but I really like these little flowers on them. And these things are so comfy. They have these thick, squishy soles. So yeah. It may embarrass my nieces, but I wear these things. Then I got, it looks like they're fly swatters at first glance. These were $1.49. But what I thought the moment I saw them was stencils. And stencils are expensive. And look, they have little back scratchers on the end. I don't know, I would not ever scratch my back with like the same appliance or thingy that I use to swat flies, but that may actually just be me. Anyway, this one is a bear, and I think you could put paint or ink on it and press it down, or you could kind of put it down and then paint over it and use it as a stencil. So one is a bear, and two are owls. I had thought maybe there was something different, there was I could only see the front and the back, and they had the bear on one side and the owl on the other. So I thought there might be something different in the middle, like you might have three different things. But oh well, I have two owls. But I like owls, so that's okay. Alright, now here comes the Michael's haul. And they had ribbons on sale for $1. And I don't normally do a lot with ribbon, but I decided that, if I want to use a big hole punch, I bought a, quarter-inch hole punch, because the hole punch that I had before I had used only to punch things in cardboard charms, very, very tiny holes in cardboard charms, such that a jump ring would go through. And of course those, there's no way you could get a ribbon to go through, but I think if I fold these in half, I can thread them through the quarter-inch hole, and that leaves me a lot more, creative things that I can do with my art journals. So this one is, no, it's not showing very well. It's like a yellow ribbon with orange. It's kind of like a grosgrain ribbon, and it's yellow and orange, and it looks really good. And my camera sadly does not seem to want to ever do close-up. Well, not camera, webcam. But there that is. This one is just so cute, it's unbelievable. It's little pink owls. I love this. Okay, this is two shades of kind of a turquoisey aqua blue with little flowers. And then this one is just too cute. All these little hot pink, yellow, and purple flowers. Amazing. I love it. Now the sad thing about buying a bunch of inexpensive things is that the coupons don't really do any good. My coupon, I think, went towards this. This is just plain white sand. And there is a reason why I have bought plain white sand. And that is because earlier in the week, I had a 50% off coupon. And I stopped by AC Moore. I didn't bother to do a haul for just one item. And I got liquid medium instead of gel medium. Because I had noticed, if you look at all the different, mediums that they have all sorts of textured ones, stucco, sand, glass bead, blah, blah, blah. And I had used a coupon to buy the glass bead medium, and then it dawned on me, you know, they're fairly expensive, but if I buy a bottle, and I think the liquid rather than the gel would mix better, I can add my own textures, and I can get a lot more than having to buy one whole container of each kind. So that's what this sand is. This sand, you can do with the liquid medium two things. You can mix it in the sand and then paint, you know, put it down, and it will dry with the nice sandy texture, and you can paint over it. Or you can go ahead and mix the liquid medium and the paint and the sand together all at one time. I think it really, you know, it's just a matter of how you want to use it. I've already tried it mixing grains of rice into it, I mean uncooked rice, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, there are endless possibilities of things you can add in. You can mix with the liquid medium to make a textured background. So I really kind of regret having bought the glass bead gel medium, because it was, you know, I had a coupon, but still, I just have, you know, I probably would have saved more money if I had mixed it on my own somehow. But anyhow, so that was that. What else is in here? Oh, in the sale bin, I found these 48 cents for bauble stickers. These are Tweety bauble stickers, and they have little springs. I don't know if you can see really with this camera. You can't, but there's 3 of them that have little springs. So Tweety's head is like boing, boing, boing. And this is for my sister Charmaine, who just got a Tweety mug at a yard sale. So I think she'll probably really like the Tweety stickers. And, okay. Oh, and then I had bought a pair of these earrings before in lavender. And I use one as a stencil and one I just out and out glued to something. And I like them. So I have the stencil and the stamp. But I think this will just look really cool glued to something else randomly. I mean, it was 50 cents, 25 cents an earring, so I'm very pleased with that. Okay, here's where I kind of got into the overspending. I had been, last weekend, just sitting and watching a bunch of YouTube videos, you know, about doing backgrounds and texture. And one of the things that I noticed is that there's a spray, I think the brand is called Tattered Angel or Glimmer Spray or something like that, and they're like $6 to $8 per thing, and they're mist paints. They're paints that you buy, and they have all sorts of cool glimmery colors, and you spray them. So they're great for just spraying on the background or spraying over a stencil. But I also saw another woman who bought plain old folk art paint, you know, the kind of inexpensive craft paint, and mixed them in these little spray bottles with water, because you have to thin these out, and sort of made her own fancy metallic sprays. So I did not get any of the glitter paint because I wasn't sure how that would work. Everything that I've had so far with glitter in it is kind of a gluey texture. But I did get metallic paint, and I love it. And this is, actually, it's more of a teal aqua color than it looks on camera. And they were $2 each, so, you know, I spent, I think, $12 total. And then this one is called Champagne. It's just a really beautiful light gold. This one is Copper. I know I went a little nuts. Oh, I did try this glitter. I did get one glitter because I really use this color a lot. So it's a very bright spring green. What's it called? Neon green. So even if it doesn't dilute well into a spray, I'm probably still going to use it a lot anyhow. Then I got Plum. Really pretty shade of purple. And I got Antique Copper. Here, I'll show you the copper and the antique copper side by side. They really are very different. There. And then one last one. Dun, 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 dun. is, this is just pearl white. And I thought this would look really, really pretty sprayed over, stencils and things. Anyhow, then that's pretty much it. I picked up bottles. They didn't really have, these are the really tiny ones. These are 2 ounces. These are 4 ounces. So I just picked up a handful of these. And that is pretty much it for my haul. I'm kind of annoyed, at both Michael's and AC Moore, because I know that the Container Store has those bottles, but I just would be so easy to pick them up, in a craft store. So when I bought the gel medium at AC Moore, I had also been looking for the bottles, because you can mix the metallic paint, you can mix acrylics, pretty much anything you want, and spray it. And I didn't know where to look. I looked a couple of places and couldn't find it. So I asked one of the girls that was just walking around putting things on shelves. And she insisted that they didn't have any, that they weren't standard craft supplies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I went to Michael's and I wasn't real optimistic. But I asked one of the employees at Michael's if they had them. I said, I want very small spray bottles. I don't care whether they're trigger or whether they're pumps, but 2 ounces, 3 ounces, in that range, the smallest that you have. Oh, we don't have any of that. We have 6-ounce spray bottles, trigger spray bottles. All right, well, I believed her. So while I was in the folk art paint section, I was just looking around after I'd picked out my paints, looking at stencils, seeing what there was to see. And I'll be darned if there was not a whole bin of the spray bottles. They had 2-ounce and 4-ounce sizes. And they only had like 3 left of the 2-ounce, so I threw in some 4 ounces too. They were inexpensive. They were right there. And I was just furious. I bet you that they had them at AC Moore also. So I don't know. It's really, really frustrating because I know a fellow YouTuber, Andi. Her YouTube channel is both, she has 2, Andi Believes and also Mountain Rose Studios. And she is an artist, and she has applied for a job at Hobby Lobby. And, they had said they weren't hiring anyone right now. And I just, from the people that I talk to and ask questions of at both AC Moore and Michael's, I get the strong impression that many of them do not do crafts and do not have any interest in crafts and would just as happily, if the store were to be bought out and they were to put auto supplies in the same location, give them the same pay, same hours, and they were just going to sell auto supplies, they wouldn't care. They would know no more about the auto supplies than they do about the craft supplies. And so here I get so annoyed because when there's a recession and there's this pool of people looking for work, you would think that you would walk, every store you walk into, you should be treated, given red carpet treatment. That they have so many applicants that they can be very picky and very choosy. Especially in a craft store. Why don't you have people who are interested in crafts? I go in there with the nieces all the time, with all kinds of oddball questions about things, and they never know. They never know what I'm talking about. I answer questions from people in the yarn aisle about both knitting and crocheting, because people will ask. I've had a number of people look at me and see yarn in my basket and say, do you know about knitting or do you know about crocheting? And it's because the staff in the store doesn't. So I'll get questions, what's the difference between bamboo needles and plastic or metal, or what size hook do I use, all kinds of things. And I think customers are just asking other knowledgeable looking customers because they can't get any help from the staff. All right, I have little crochet devil ears, and I should have worn those if I had known I was going off on a rant, but I really didn't. Okay. Yeah, people who read, bookstores should hire people who read books, craft stores should hire people who like crafts, etc. But okay, that is the end of that rant. Let's see, what have I been up to? Was sick on Thursday, but I did a vlog about that. You know, my headache was gone on Friday, but both Friday and today, I have felt really, I guess the word is flat. I'm not really depressed. Well, I am, you know, sad, but I'm not really depressed like I get when I get a real depression. But I just have this, you know, feeling about more or less everything. I have not felt particularly creative. Thursday I did a coloring book for my art journal entry, and yesterday I really just did some journaling. I just did some writing, and that was it. And this morning I woke up and I just had that, you know how sometimes you wake up and you're excited, or at least, you know, oh cool, I'm going to do this, this, and this. No. I think maybe that helped me set slightly more realistic goals for myself, because I always wake up in the morning and I make these big elaborate plans and I never get them all done. But what happened, I just woke up and today's, you know, were to do like renew my lease online, because I have decided to stay here for another year. Let's see, oh, and then it was to go to the grocery store. I normally go to at least 2. And I decided I just probably, since it was raining so hard, I wasn't going to go to the organic market, which is further away. So I just went to Trader Joe's and Giant. And then I wanted to do all the cooking in advance that I could do for the week, because I've been really sliding on my eating. And I realized that what happens is when I don't have something healthy at hand and I get really, really hungry, then I don't want to take the time to go to the grocery store and prepare something. So I will, you know, McDonald's. I happen to think McDonald's food tastes great. I know everybody thinks, you know, oh, ugh, how can you eat that? I work with this guy who is what I like to call a foodie. And, you know, I don't want to get into that, but anyway, yeah, you know, every restaurant he eats has to be like a dining experience, and he just doesn't understand how I can eat that disgusting fast food. I'm like, well, it's clearly not disgusting to me. But anyhow, I'm not going to go off on that tangent. Okay, so anyhow, so that was like 2 weeks ago, where I just didn't have it on hand, really tired, really hot, didn't want to mess with fixing anything. So, oh look, there's McNuggets. And then this week it was the pizza. So, yeah, I've been eating more prepared foods, and I actually think that that might have something to do with my sluggishness and lack of enthusiasm. But anyway, so I decided today to plan out what I wanted to prepare, and I decided to have fun. I decided to approach it, instead of it being this terrible, terrible chore, as it being exciting and adventuresome. And I thought about making stuff that I don't normally make, because I tend to get into a rut. So the first thing I decided to do was I got a recipe from one of my subscribers for southern green beans. And it's just really, you know, you just take some green beans, put them in water and boil them, but you add this thing called fatback. I didn't know what it was. I had to, you know, reply to the comment and say, what exactly is fatback? Well, you don't eat it. You just use it as a seasoning. So I bought it. It comes in a package of 3 slabs of it. I put 1 in. I assume you're supposed to use 1, you know, per batch. And I froze the rest. I just dropped it down in there and simmered it away with the green beans. It is probably not healthy, because it tastes so incredibly good. And interestingly enough, I thought I had never had it before, but I had. I was in Birmingham on business 7 years ago? I'm not very good at, well, you know, anyway, some time ago. And I remember getting green beans as a side dish and thinking, wow, these taste really different from anything I've ever had, and they're very, very good. Um, I suspect that's how they were cooked. But anyway, so I made those and I was really happy with that. Um, I did get a semi-prepared food thing. When I was at Trader Joe's, they have roasts that are already marinated. But Trader Joe's does all their meat is the free range, no feedlot, and the hormone-free, antibiotic-free, blah, blah, blah. And they also don't use nitrites or anything bad. They use probably more sodium than I would use in their and I would use in my blah, blah, blah. They use more sodium than I would put in. Okay, but anyhow, yeah, it had all sorts of good spices and seasonings, and it was chilly today, well, for summer. So I went ahead and made a roast, and it was surprisingly easy. You just stick the meat thermometer down in it. It comes with little instructions on the package for how long you should cook it, but the meat thermometer is like the actual gauge, and that's easy enough. Hey, not that bad. And then I decided to get creative. Let's see, I did the green beans, I did the roast. Oh, I made a salad, and it was surprisingly, it was kind of a pain in the butt because of the egg thing. Okay, that was a little strange. I am allergic to egg yolks, not egg whites. So I can hard boil eggs and then scoop out all the yolks, and rinse out any little clingy bits and eat the egg whites like in an egg salad. Now, of course, I have to use soy mayonnaise because of the yolk issue. But anyway, I decided to make a salad of hard-boiled egg whites, and then boiled those little tiny baby potatoes I think they're the red ones. Anyway, a little bag of those I got at Trader Joe's. So I had egg whites, potatoes, and then I took a skillet and I sauteed in olive oil tons and tons and tons of garlic. I just chopped and chopped and chopped up garlic because I eat a tremendous amount of garlic. 2 onions, 2 boxes of mushrooms, and this big bag. They're called power greens, and they're really cool. Along with spinach, they have 2 different kinds of chard, and they have baby bok choy, and it's like guaranteed not to be bitter. It's pre-washed, everything. You just rip open the bag and drop it in, and it's a big bag, and I buy those for my smoothies too, and they're very good. So anyway, sauteed all that stuff together in olive oil, then tossed it in with the potatoes and eggs, and chilled it, and it is surprisingly good. That was my little creative, thing. I added just plain old salt and pepper to it because there is a lot of garlic, so clearly it's very garlicky. And the olive oil also adds a really good flavor. I was thinking too, if you want it to be a little more salad-like, you could toss in some balsamic vinegar, after it's already cooked and mixed together. Sprinkling in some balsamic vinegar would be good. So anyway, yeah, I did all this cooking, and I tried to, and I actually did not, I got fairly excited about the salad because that was experimental and it worked out well, and I love the beans. So I'm pretty happy. And then I got, they had a lot of locally grown produce at Trader Joe's today. And normally I don't cook, my vegetable of the day in advance. I did cook a lot of green beans in advance because I like to snack on them cold in the summer. I know it's a little strange, but I just like to snack on cold cooked green beans. So I made up a batch for the week. But yeah, I am willing to cook up. It doesn't take very long. I'm a big fan of sauteing things in olive oil and garlic. So I have zucchinis and peppers and tomatoes and all sorts of yummy things, and I just cook those on a day-to-day basis. So anyhow, yeah, let's see. Poet Spice is going to be doing a healthy challenge this for August, and I am preparing for it. I know that sounds a little weird. Okay, I have really been assessing my diet because back in January I decided I really wanted to be healthier, and I had done for close to 20 years. I've gone on various different diet and programs and plans, and I have not been able to stick to any of them. As you can see, my chin, my friend, which is actually, what do you call them, frenemies? I would really rather not have this friendly chin right here. And there's also the belly. So anyhow, and then there's also, like the health issues. So I've been trying to eat healthier, and I have. But I sat down and really assessed how I've been feeling, and my diet. And I have come to the conclusion that I think the healthiest that I felt was when I was on the Atkins diet, although I was constantly cheating. The Atkins is like a low carb, virtually no carb. And, they cut out the bread and the pasta and the grains, but they cut out all of them. And they also start messing with your fruits and veggies too. And that was too much. I kept cheating. But I really did feel much, much, much better. So, I was trying to be a vegan for a while. And the one wonderful result of that is I have massively increased my vegetable intake. And I have been using a lot of the vegan recipes and coming up with so many good veggie recipes. So I really like that. And I will never cut back on the amount of veggies. I would say my diet is still predominantly veggies. But I am probably always going to be a meat eater, because I think that the times that I feel healthiest are when I have the lots of fruits and vegetables, lean meat, and very little carbs. So I have been listening to an audiobook called Wheat Belly. And I also have been, read some books. And while I'm not going to go on any specific diet, Wheat Belly suggests simply cutting out wheat. You can still have some rice, you can still have oats. I know that one of my friends is on this thing called a paleo diet, which is just as extreme as the Atkins. And I don't think I'm going to make, I wouldn't make it. Oh God, I'm getting really long-winded here. Okay, so to speed things along a little bit. Basically what I'm going to do during my August challenge month is give up wheat. And I'm easing myself into it. Everything that I prepared this week and purchased is wheat-free. My big challenge is going to be eating at my sister's house. But I've got a couple more weeks to try and, figure out that hurdle before I start. So anyhow, what is going on? Oh, one of my subscribers has opened a new Etsy shop. And I took a look, and it has she does really cool looking oil pastels. They're abstract, but they remind me of flowers, and just they're really, really nice. Her YouTube name is Frankiesgal, and I will put 2 links down below. I'll put a link to her Etsy store. And actually, I know she has YouTube. I'm not sure if she really, she has a channel, but I'm not sure how many videos she makes. So I'll give you both. I'll give you her YouTube and her Etsy store. And I was very impressed with her artwork. I highly recommend that you just pop over there and just take a look. So anyhow, let's see. Dun-da-da. Yeah, the rest of my weekend, I more or less did all the chores I set for myself. My nieces are probably coming over tomorrow, so I decided, why on earth would I dust and vacuum when they're going to come over and make a huge mess? So, yeah. I normally get up pretty early on Sunday and do laundry before everybody comes over. I'm losing it. Before everybody else gets up and goes down to the laundry room and starts doing laundry. Other than that, I really just want to sit back, and I have a baby blanket I really have to work on. I want to just sit back and relax and crochet and watch YouTube. I've gotten a little bit behind with everybody this week, and I want to get caught up. Okay, thank you for watching and for subscribing, and this one is a long one. Okay, everybody, have a great night. I will see you tomorrow.